Hello, everybody. Hello. So, today we see LPSN move a fair amount. It's up 10.15%. That's the weekly chart where it's looking good. This is the famous trade spotting Gartley reversal, all-time lows to all-time highs. What a trade it's going to be. Did you see this morning's meme? And the memes on Discord that have been put up in the last 3 days, there's been about 10 on Discord. That's where to get the best ones. I think they're pretty good memes. They're not the best memes, but I try my best. Lyle out there, he's not a cat. He's really good at them. So, I will not be revealing my massive gain and my huge position in E-Trade. Though it is massive, it's not an E-Trade. We've seen extreme volatility today. Be some more perhaps during this live stream. Shares have surged 10% so far. And they didn't drop really. Not to any lows, significant higher lows there recently, and then blast off at the minute, down to the 15-second, where all the action happens. There's an important line. Just getting used to all this live stream stuff, It's been a while, I'm rusty. The high today was 747. So that timed perfectly with the emoji calendar. You'll have seen that. That gives the game away that today was the first day in the calendar, doesn't it? That it got there in 747 and all. I suppose that also the rest of it will become really obvious now. So alongside this live stream, LPSN are not announcing a huge dilution, which is great. Which is great, isn't it? And this live stream as well, that'll reinvigorate you and your investment thesis in LPSN, which is really good fun. Together we do form a big part of that investor sentiment, right? Seeing as we're the only ones who know about it. But soon, when I get out of this place, when they let me out of this place, okay, they're all trapped in here with me at the minute. We're not anticipating LivePerson acquiring any other companies. That's not part of the story, but it might be happening in other stocks, which is all well and good. Talk about that. This live stream and what we're doing should underscore the significance of what the retail trader can do and what it means to discuss your favorite stocks on the internet. So you probably want to know why I believe in LPSN. People are often asking me, "Hey, TradeSpotting, what the fuck is going on? What the fuck is going on, Spada?" And I am working with any hedge funds. I've not got a huge financial backer. This is just, I like the stock. And what's the target? Just up. And people will say, once they've seen the emoji calendar specifically, but what price Spada? And it's definitely an investment in the board. LivePerson themselves have been around for a while, right? In a different form. They're a completely different kind of company now. Now, Monday the 8th of July, 2024, LivePerson, they were born in New York in 1995. many decades ago, and they survived a couple of different crushes in the market. Technology, specifically AI driven conversational e commerce, that's the focus of LivePerson. And their products are mostly AI powered chatbots and messaging solutions for customer service online. You know all this though because you own lots of it. At least that's what the order books have been saying. What he's not like? You like me? Can't get enough of it. The global AI conversational market is due to grow, it's due to reach around 32, 33 billion in just a couple of years' time. Drivers of that growth will be things like messaging apps and demand for efficient customer service. As you know, since the birth of LivePerson in 1995, that was also the birth of the internet the same year. And since then, there's only been one shift, and it's towards e-commerce. There's nothing like a good CRM system. Some of the biggest companies in the world aren't just there because of their ability to service you with adverts, but because they provide a real service. And the two killer apps on the internet, well, the most recent one has been search, and the new search is conversational AI. One of the reasons Facebook garnered so much investment and attention at the start of its rise was because of the nature of customer relationships and the idea of customer acquisition and customer lifetime value. A big part of that was knowing your customer so that you could get the maximum customer lifetime value. So you had ECRM, customer service management, online. Facebook knowing so much about you, that was one of the reasons why it was so popular in the beginning. Now we see search as the killer app online, and that feature, that ability to deliver you information, exactly what you need to know, the best possible sources of it, that's now shifting into conversational AI, and the various sectors within it. The most lucrative and certainly the most largest addressable target market at the minute is e-commerce and customer relationships. So LivePerson themselves, their mission is to transform how people communicate with brands. And that's just dripping with money, that sentence. $33 billion market segment in the next couple of years. And this company can enhance customer engagement like no other AI, with billions and billions and billions of customer conversations every week. There's nobody who has that contextual data like LivePerson. They're huge in retail, they're getting bigger in banking, and they've got a massive opportunity in healthcare. And if you don't see the efficiencies there, you'll probably die. LivePerson themselves, revenue beat expectations by 20%, despite the fact that it's so battered down and has been in such a strong downtrend for so very long. Holding 0.7, and you guys are all in the money though. They've got competitive advantages in their AI, which is their own and proprietary, which also hooks up with others, so isn't exclusionary. And it's got accelerated learning itself with its own inbuilt machine learning and all their proprietary code there. So that's technology that's worth something, that belongs to the company, along with so many acquisitions they've done along the way for voice. So now that voice and the enterprise voice, you might look around the internet and see that there's various people trying to compete with LivePerson in this dark demographic. But the companies that are signing up for those competitors are future lifetime customers of LivePerson who've got all the data, who've got all the technology, and are way ahead of the game. And they're about to announce a huge partnership with a massive worldwide call center so that they can take every phone call that fails in the chatbot, which is one of the reasons why customers previous left them. And now that they've got Sarah Hogan in, they're going to grow their customer base while retaining current customers and be able to offer them this new technology, which was the number one reason that anyone ever left them. So they took their largest weakness and they made it a unique strength that they can deliver to companies who use LivePerson that no other version of them can do, because they don't have the economies, they don't have the current market share, and they don't have the ability to add on that feature. And any that do might be considered to be Twilio or Salesforce, and their market cap, their share price, and their enterprise value are absolutely massive. So if those are your competitors, that's a positive situation. We've got major clients across all of those three sectors I mentioned, and their customer retention. When they manage to get that up a notch, this company's going to really turn a corner. And that doesn't just need to be that, because the only threat to them at the minute is due to their own operational efficiencies, due to the gearing in the company. That is the amount of money that they've borrowed in order to service their operations and to invest in other technologies. And so if that money becomes cheaper to them, that debt will be ameliorated. Those things resting on top of the share price, causing it to experience more gravity than is necessary, will disappear. And if at the same time rates are getting cut, the pressure on companies to deliver a profitable return is reduced, the cost of money has gone down, they've managed to turn the corner with regards to their narrative, then people are going to start applying growth multiples instead of looking at this as an existential issue. So when they enhance the AI capabilities of potentially every company that meets the customer, and they do it at a low cost, and they provide even the biggest strength of that one company is the weakest part of every competitor, and they've got huge potential geographic growth, and they've got deep sector penetration already, and they've got a massive list of customers who used to use them who are now going to desperately want to, and they're going to be able to offer them a better, more simple pricing model. They're going to be able to also expand their partnerships and get an even more broad service that they can offer to people from every possible growing market. Plus, they've got a really strong history of successful M&A, which means that if they want to buy somebody, when money gets cheaper, they can do. And this is definitely a growth company. And in tech, that's what you're looking for in terms of deep value. And being on the fringe of it is good. Being at the heart of it is amazing. And that's what LivePerson are. They're at the heart of tech. And when tech companies lose that existential threat, the sword of Damocles moves, and they instead start looking at growth, they go massive acceleration. And these are the sort of investments that are really definitely fit my ethical profile, because when it explodes and it gets to $69 or even way above that, there's going to be somebody who'll want to take my shares because they'll be worth that to them, and they'll be worth fuckloads more going forward. And that's how I trade. I take it when the risk is high, when the reward is gigantic, and then I pass it on to somebody else who's going to do really well with those shares. That's how I operate, and it saves me from a lot of different risks. As the LivePerson themselves have a really strong understanding of all possible external threats, and they know the danger of rapid technological changes if they don't stay abreast of them. So having cheaper access to money with that important M&A activity behind them, their ability to innovate, diversify, and provide strong security for their clients makes them absolute leader in this field when it comes to putting computer and AI in between you and your customer. There isn't one that'll do the job better than LivePerson, and everybody knows there's huge growth potential, especially for somebody in a strong market position, and they've got the potential to improve their financial situation. So if they get robust financials with that cutting edge technology, they can provide scalability to every possible customer facing business. And they can then leverage that massive network of data across all those billions upon billions upon billions of conversations to give you the best possible experience for your shitty little shoe shop or your little burger van. They'll be able to give you the best possible customer interaction, way better than you could ever do, leaving you to focus on making those cheese sandwiches, right, where your real true skills lie. You're the cheese sandwich innovative leader exploiting that market opportunity. Good on you, right? Keep that strategic focus on those cheese sandwiches. That's what we like to see. Definitely don't trade or invest in LPSN. So if you've got any questions about it, do hit me up in the chat box with them, right? They've got a really strong leadership team. You might want to hear about them. John Collins, the COO, former CFO, the interim CEO. He's got extensive experience in financial management and strategic planning. He knows exactly what it is to borrow, to spend, to make money. And he's an absolute fucking genius at what he does. They've got Business Affairs and General Counsel Monica Greenberg, she's not bad. Alan Banks, not bad. They've got a new head of product coming in, though I'm not sure how available that information is, so look it up for yourself, and if you can't find it, look again in a week. Loads of strong trends in the market. You might want to ask me about the shift in consumer behaviour. Cheers, everybody. Can of tea. You'll have had your tea. You might want to think about something if you know yourself. Tell me about all these advancements in AI integration and all these different business ecosystems. Tell me how that's going to help. What are your ideas? Do you think it's a huge opportunity, or do you think this is the sort of thing that's like passé and old? You know, is it all past, or will there be, you know, was the peak of our interactions WhatsApp? Or are we going to look at a new app, right? Are we all going to start using like Google's apps and Facebook's apps when we first pick up our phone, and we're not used to, like, we're going to, so a lot of people using Telegram now. I mean, is there going to be another one? If there is, will it be LivePerson making you sound like you're not a total dummy? Probably, right? You know, the amount of messages I get on Tinder that are clearly being fed through something like ChatGPT, it's like, why bother making them go off the app, right? Just give them the button to hit A and we'll all just fucking pretend. So they're, you know, I'm not meeting them halfway though with an enhanced customer experience. That doesn't happen. I use Tinder on the toilet, so maybe I need to get LivePerson for my data-driven insights into these chat messaging conversations on these online dating platforms. Hey guys, in chat box, let me know what you think about the innovation in the R&D. Do your own D&D. If you wanted me to do the DD for you, I already did. It's on the Discord. You just go on the Discord and you have to join the premium site, because what the fuck, I'm not doing that for free. Jesus Christ, it took me fucking ages. You can get on there and via the Patreon, and then if you don't want it, you can go and look at all the memes which are based on that anyway. It's absolutely massive. I've got the emoji calendar. If you want to see it, it's also going to be there soon. Like that sector diversification, it's all coming soon. It's all coming soon. Doesn't really matter though, it's about the partnerships. The market, obviously the total addressable market is huge, and you add on a call center, it's going to fucking explode. Make that one that can service all geographies. Oh my god, I think I'll be investing more in LivePerson all the way up to $1, and then when it gets above $1, I'm going to exercise. I'm going to exercise. I might have to sell a couple of people who wants to exercise, but you know, fucking obviously that's what's going to happen. It's my own way of trading. You play your own game. It's not financial advice. The way I trade is really risky. It's super aggressive, right? And I've got an enemy in this site, so I want to take down. So you probably should be better off like just being a sensible trader, right? You saw that. That was the message at the end of the meme. It wasn't a call to action telling you to invest in LPSN. Play your own game. It's like telling you how to trade and learn, like teaching you, you know, go where to go to do it properly, right? So what do you reckon? Do you want to hear more about the folks that work there? The shifts in consumer behaviour, we got it all covered. Yay? Where's the chat box? LPSN, why is it not moving anymore? It was moving loads earlier. LPSN, do something. We're on the internet, live. This is your big moment. You can do it, LPSN. Why are you not moving? We can also check in with your other favourite stocks. Just let me know if that's what you would like. Burdoop. Let me go back to the beginnings. Oh, it's as far as I can go. Heading into work, stopping by to hit the like button. Don't forget to like out here making those cheese sandwiches. What would you do without them, right? You probably wouldn't be able to get through your own day at the cheese sandwich factory without them. Thank you so much. Don't forget to like. I just wish my newest batch of cash had settled so I could buy more LPSN. Yeah, I've had that feeling before. Brad, see, you were right. It's accumulation. That's what I'm looking to. This is a period of consolidating all of the money with TradeSpotting. I have Robinhood, but calls not offered here, or at least not in my account. Brad, see. You on the old Robinhood, aye? Back on the old Robinhood. I was off it for months, but I couldn't help myself. I couldn't help myself. It's just one day I was out one night, and the dance music came on and the beat started pumping, and I was like, oh my god, I can't stop myself. Oh my god, and I got out and I opened my app. I'll open my app, and I was like, Robinhood, riding through the glen, Robinhood, buying all the stocks, and you just couldn't stop yourself. Robinhood, he's got tights like this one, but he wears them on his legs. Robinhood. Well, thank you very much for sharing that IBKR referral code, Mrs. Lisa. Legend. Good question, Justin. What did Justin say? I see what Luke Spears said, so him saying that meant that I'd go back to you, Justin. You're so lucky Luke did you that service. Or Luke, where is your message though, Justin? There it is. Jamie sleeping in today or taking a break? Great question. Start kicking it off with Justin with a great question. Mostly DBs. Market cap only 60 million on LPSN. Free float like 50 million. If you loan me 50 million, I'll go buy out float right now. I'll even throw in a handcrafted LPSN emoji calendar. Well, I've got that coming. What about some scented bath candles? Scented bath candles. I heard there's a gap in the market there now. A beluga-sized whale or a grey whale. You can choose whatever you like. It could be any animal you like. And then when they come for us, all they'll find is lots of animals. I approve of these goals. These are great goals, whatever they are. If Luke Spears says it, I say it. What happened? Who knows? I think I don't know. Jamie is hurt. Yes, it was awful, Luke. I feel better now, though, having met you guys again and remembered what it's all about. Yeah, only 2 band-aids and 1... Exactly. You counted the band-aids. I wasn't sure they'd show up, what, with the window behind me. Lisbon in the kitchen. So it's power hour. Yeah, but Lisbon's decided not to move anymore. Oh no, it went up a bit. See, it just needs to move the tiny little bit, and then it's like actually huge percentage because of where it's coming from. Which is going to keep happening until it costs loads more, which is great. Which is nice. That was nice. So where's the chat box going? There it is. Power hour. Hello, LivePerson from Boston. Might be kitties. Who knows? We'll focus on we'll burn the bridge in front of us first. TracePoint, ChatGPT and NVIDIA, NIMS can have impact on LPSN unless they package everything well. ChatGPT and NVIDIA, well it's an interlocker, right? ChatGPT can are providing Apple Intelligence, so we'll go with Apple Intelligence and NVIDIA. NVIDIA love to buy companies like LivePerson, and then those companies use that money to invest in NVIDIA chips. That's some people say that it's a little bit of a scam. But the truth is nobody gives a fucking shit because NVIDIA are massive and they're driving everything. Also, have you seen how, a lot of people are going to not like this, but tough shit. Have you seen the amazing economic performance of the American industrial base in the last 12 months under Joe Biden? And there's nothing like it anywhere else in the world. America, under the last 12 months of Joe Biden, I don't know why he doesn't talk about how amazing his job he's doing here, and it's not my job to fucking tell everybody that he's doing a great job, but he is doing a fantastic job. Maybe the best job that any American president has done with regards to the industrial base since he's built all those roads. Since that time you built all your roads, right, which also he's doing a not bad job of fixing as it comes to it, right, since that guy, he's the best. But he's also done the best thing for the industrial base in America. You guys in America might not believe me, but then you just don't believe loads of fucking truthful shit, so that's not my problem. And what they're doing is, they're building more factories in America every month than they ever did in China. So that's someone telling me stuff about Joe. XD, $25. I have tipped $25. I like Lipson. Same too. We be silly dickheads, though, didn't it? XD. So, yeah, I mean, what he's done right now, you might not like it, but he's building more factories per month are being built in America, and that's not being funded by the government. Like, I mean, it kind of is, but because Biden's smart the way he goes up with those acts and whatnot. But and maybe it's not him, maybe it's his team. I don't really give a flying shit. I don't give a shit about any of the things that people say, other than the rate of factory growth in America is faster than it ever was in China, even back in 2001 when China were building a factory every time, more often than I'd have a drink of tennis. They'd be like, oh, got a new one, spotter. Anyway, it's ridiculous, right? It's ridiculous. The speed of development there is like literally unheard of on Earth ever, really. To be honest, it's better than your dude that built the roads. It's insanely good, and in 20 years' time, that's what people look back on. They won't remember any of the stupid shit on that fucking ridiculous debate, or any of the other things that anybody says. They'll look back on what he did, and what he's doing right now, I'll tell you, is fucking planet changing. It's absolutely super amazing, superhuman shit. So whoever it is that's up to that, whether it's somebody elected, non-elected, whoever the fuck it is, that's responsible for it, and maybe it's him, I don't know. He should stay on, right? They should get him. If a new guy comes in, then he should employ that guy again, because he's the best in the world at it. Why are we talking about that? Oh, Nvidia. Yeah, because they're pretty much moving to America. Who isn't? Like, with this rate, honestly, in 20 years' time, America's going to be so fucking look back on it and be like, this was all of this amazing growth period, all of it was due to the good work done back in 2024, which is crazy. Good for it, as it didn't have shit reviews overall. What's this, Glassdoor? People like to check in on Glassdoor to see how the staff think about their jobs, right? If you're working at LivePerson, you've got a brilliant job, and you should shut up and be goddamn lucky that you've got such a brilliant job. And like anybody out on Glassdoor talking about how they do like the job and that, it's like, do you know how lucky you are? That it's absurd commentary. You're so goddamn lucky. And the fact that the company's so cheap and you might be getting rewarded in shares as well as part of your compensation. Oh my god. It's like early doors Facebook. You should be going into work every day thanking the Lord Jesus. You know what I mean? Bloody hell. Anyway, people don't like that I said that, but so let's fuck off. Credit where it's due, I guess. Darn tootin'. A lot of credit. I love roads and bridges and factories. Joe Biden recently won a war with the bathtub. That's good. I can't imagine that he wouldn't win anything, right? Everybody meets their level. Same with me when I was at school. They thought I was deaf, but it was because they were stupid, so I didn't listen to them. I'm selling robot and putting the money into Lipson. That's one move from one guy to another guy. Yeah, what's going to be in these robots' heads anyway? Probably some Lipson. He answered every question. Joe Biden is the clear choice of this party and American people. That's good. Kitty's is a huge fan. A huge fan. Looking forward to a vacation in Scotland someday. Matt Sklar, you'll love it. Today sun was splitting the trees. And out of them came angels who started singing about Lisbon. It was brilliant. Tested breakout, temperature. So you want to look at the TA and whatnot? Probably. You should like that. Here's the weekly time frame. It's interesting, right? It's super interesting. There's a number of reasons why it's interesting. Got all this up above you, right? All this stuff, all this jazz, right? If this breakout is the breakout, you've got this head and shoulders. You've got this head and shoulders. So you have, where are you? You stupid thing. So this is it. It looks like that. It's something like this, right? I've drunk tenants, so you'll just have to bear with me. It looks something like this. Anyway, it's definitely broken that already. And it looks like it might be moving out. And this is a measured move from the head and shoulders. It comes from the bottom, it comes up to, it looks slightly bigger than that. Oh, look at you, lucky thing you. Oh, happy days. Right, so it's something like that, and it'll break out somewhere. If let's say it goes back down, right, and breaks out there, that'll suggest that you'll be going up for. Now let me just put it on it because it's going to happen anyway. That suggests you go up for like 123. That's in US dollars. That'd be the target from the inverted head and shoulders. This inverted head and shoulders, if you want to know, right, it's also this. This is a Gartley. It's a reversal harmonic. It's pretty damn good. And then maybe I'm on the wrong time frame for showing you, but God, would you go any move? I don't know why. Oh, it's because I've locked it. Also, I'm not sure why I've got all the levels the price is going to marked in this guy. You can see it on a different live stream, or I'll get it up later, whatever, when it shows up on whatever time frame. Anyway, there's a Gartley, right? And you might be looking at this, and the target would be 148, and it's probably going there, right? It's probably going there. And afterwards, what do you think I'm going to do? Right, I'm going to buy more of it. I'm going to buy more and more of it, right? And that's what it looks like Lipson's doing. It's the head and shoulders. It's the Gartley reversal. It's this thing at a long time low. You'd be looking at 123 and then up at 148. And then there's a huge gap, right? There's a huge gap. I'll show you that in a minute. But you take it the Fibonacci from the all-time high down to the all-time low, where we're seeing these reversal formations. You know, all of them. It's brilliant. It's brilliant to see two. Wow, right? You never see two in a world like that. On a tech stock, at the heart of the fastest growing sector, the new search on like what? Oh my god. Anyway, 236 at 148. That also comes in line with where Lipson's going, which is like a nice coincidence, isn't it? It's got nothing to do with me. Anyway, so there's this gap, right? And you go down to the 4 hour time frame, you can see that because that's where you find all important gaps. And it's in here. Look, I'll show you like techno gap. Techno gap. Anyway, I'll stop that now. So that's where you gap, right? So it gets back up there, happy days. And then, you know, bottom side of that gap comes in at 177. That'll be like dust. And then it'll go through it at 2 spot 33, 231, whatever, who cares? Go to 238. And then, guess what I'll do? I'll buy some more of it, because that's only on the 4 hour where it's not even managed to break market structure, right? You could take a trend line across the top of these recent highs. And, you know what I mean? It could just do all that and it still wouldn't even be breaking a downward sloping trend line. In fact, people would expect you to do that, right? That's what a lot of people would expect, even if like it was bad news. Things currently cheap as chips, and it's going up to here to Asda price. It'll still be cheap as chips, right? It's just you won't be able to get as many chips, you know, inflation and whatnot. So you'll get less chips because your inflation up at around 238, and then that's just closing the gap. And then back above that trend line, you've got another gap, which we can draw in now because, you know, I told you some of the DD. And then here you draw it along, goes along the top like that, and it looks great, so it does, but we're going to make it the other colour because we don't like that colour. It's off-putting. It's the colour we use for divergence. Anyway, this thing, it's got divergence as well. Look, between the head and shoulders there. And this is daily time frame, so it's no joke, pal. It's no joke, right? But these would be the lows you'd look to. This one, to the head, to the shoulder, to the whatnot. And like I said, that's the colour we use for divergence. And then down here, they've got this, and you can tell me, like, they're going in opposite directions, right? So that's what divergence is. There's other ways of explaining it, but, you know, I'm in a hospital. So that's a reverse for me. That's plenty of reason why, you know, the next low will be a higher low. It's outside the bearish control zone. That's great. It's back above center line. That's great. It's challenging previous highs. That's good. And this thing's also doing the same. That's also fantastic, right? So if it is that it pushes up into the bullish control zone here on the daily time frame, then you'd be expected to challenge at least for in or around 0.8874, right? Probably it would just go up and test this breakdown in at around $1. Right, and then, you know, $1 is like a magnet. Then you'll see it at 120, and that'll be it at that trend line. And then it'll go on to the next. And then, you know, what are you going to do at that point, right? Curse your luck for not buying it. I've been talking about it since it was at 0.54, innit? Saw that meme earlier. You know, it's like, come back for me when you're at 0.54. It's like, what? It was already. It's already. It was. What? It already. Anyway, so. It's up to you how you play your own game, like I say. So then this is the weekly and the daily and 4 hour, and it's all very exciting. And I had a point to make, which is why I came down here. I can't remember what it was, but there's that gap, and then there's this other gap, and it'll close in at around 928. You know, that'll not be a bad thing at all. At which point, you know, close that gap. You will only be going back for the golden pocket. You know what I mean? Here's this trend line. Here's this trend line through the second gap, right? You don't even meet it until you're up at around $5, and that's not even a 50% retracement. Right, so it could absolutely easily come in around there, right? You don't need to take it from the all-time high. You could just take it from these touches and say it probably gets the third gun on that. And that would be closing that gap in at around 950. $10. $10. So like the idea that I wouldn't want it at 70-something cents is silly. You know what I mean? I'm here to make money, not fuck around like a stupid idiot. So that's what I'd be talking about. Yeah, fuck yeah, woohoo, right? So all these algorithms, right? They be listening to you, and there's nobody with the algorithms like GTS. No one. There isn't a single investment fund in the entire world that has the algorithms that GTS has, that have the quantity and skill of their traders. There isn't, so you'll have to be really good if you're trying to fuck them up, which is what I'm doing. So maybe some people say that, but I'm not here working against the hedge funds. I believe in this company, like I explained already. Pretty good company. It's got a lot going for it. It's also exactly the sort of thing I would invest in and trade. So I'm happy with that. Also, it's got this incredible reversal formation on the go, which I like, and then it's got this other one, which comes at the same place, and both of them are very high probability in this sort of situation. You know, see it at the bottom of the trend. It's exactly what you want. That's a daily time frame. I'm not pissing around, right? That's a daily time frame. You know what I mean? And this thing, it shows up whatever you can show up on a 4 hour if you're looking for it. I've got the drawings turned off so that it looks cool. Looks cool. Oh, cool. Anyway, look. Not only did that break out there, which it did, it broke out. You remember that? It happened. It was only earlier today. You have this downward sloping resistance there, and it absolutely smashed through that. Previously, you didn't have a body close back above this trend line since 17th of May. 17th of May, not bad. You only had one, and then ahead of that, it was just, you know, when it was falling into the Mariana Trench, in which case, you know, everyone's getting like. Oh
I need
God.
a volunteer.
A volunteer.
Come at me with an imaginary knife.
Chips are not as cheap as this opportunity where I live.
That's how it's done. Who's next?
That's me! I love it.
Yeah, it's like a wee poker chips. You could get a poker chips. Thanks so much, Justin. Appreciated, mate. Thank you. Justin and XD, eh? Out here paying the medical bills. You know, it's tough, right? It's tough. It's tough out here in the sticks. With the walls falling, the pair of walls, me and my poor lonely flat. You can hear the echo, right? You can hear it. Thank you very much, Justin. Thank you very much, XD. Legends. Keeping the show on the road. What does Lipson have going for them? Me? Who's most likely to be a leader in AI vehicle entertainment? If vehicle automation is the future, entertainment features with big selling point, I suspect. I didn't choose the Skux life, the Skux life chose me. In it, vehicles. Lipson have got mergers and acquisitions that took them into the vehicles sector, into the vehicles. So there's a lot of interest there. You know, when you think about the AI, right, you often think about how is this going to impact me? And that comes in a direct facing way. But in fact, the biggest impact on your life from AI will be how it improves interoperability between businesses. It'll be this efficiency it brings to the business sector. And in that sense, that's all LivePerson are really trying to do, right? It's those businesses deploy this software to speak to their customers. But LivePerson, the company, aren't sitting around like, what will we make the AI learn about today? Or what will let's fucking stick some new tunes on the AI playlist, yo. This fucking thing's banging, bitches. That's not what they're doing. They're trying to sell this product to other companies who use it as a service. You know, you've heard of that software as a service thing. It's a big deal. So they'll be like selling it to other companies. Some of them will have cars, no doubt. That's part of the acquisition that LivePerson did not so long ago. But what that car does to entertain you will obviously depend on loads of different things. For sure. Anyway, I want a Ferrari Aperta. I think we've talked about this before, haven't we? And I'm not joking. So if you think I'm joking, shit. You know, I'll be really upset with you. So don't. My jokes are perfectly good when I do make jokes. So just that one's serious. It's not a joke. First one is already green. Others are said to keep it green. Ooh, that sounds nice, Mr. Dead Money, sir. That sounds nice. Keeping it green out there. The mean team keeping it green. So what's the chat box been saying? I mean, if you've got any chat, that's the 4 hour time frame, and it broke that, and it's got a body close above it, right? So, you know, we can go down and look at that on smaller time frames and describe it as an uptrend, and people wouldn't laugh us out of the circus. But Nelly the elephant flapped her ears. This is on a 4 hour time frame. That's actually opening and closing and opening outside of that trend line. So maybe it's going to closing in as well. Opening, closing in, opening, closing in. Right? So that's not bad. That's not bad. You might have heard me mention those kind of things in the past. So the place you'll be targeting then would be 0.8765, 8764, right? Which is like, had a couple of touches here. It's pretty obvious that that would be where price would look to go to if it was in search of resistance, right? Where is resistance, oh Charto, oh Charto? Charto on the wall, where's resistance? It's this place it found resistance at this horizontal level a couple of times. It's on the 4 hour, you can look at it on other time frames as well, if you want to, if you really want to. If you really want to, here's hourly where I also had a test of support in it around that level, so that's interesting. You go down in time frame, you see a lot more of that. And then that peak, it was bearishly divergent. This guy, you're pushing in higher highs and you've got a perfectly smart uptrend without any gaps. That's a 1 hour time frame, no gaps back down here. Price could come back down and test these levels, 0.64, could come down to 0.54, that'd be an amazing buy, I think. But then I'm a deep value investor who's trying to take this thing to ridiculous multiples to then give it to somebody else who get lots of value from it, and maybe you want to fuck around and act like a fanny instead, which is totally your choice, and now this video isn't financial advice. So that sort of idea. You could have a stop loss out to wazoo if you wanted, but you could probably keep that a lot tighter. Though my drawing suits it like that. You know, it's a nice drawing and it probably happens, but that's not financial advice. Like I say, play your own game. So what we're talking about here is the fact that this thing's moving up in quite linear fashion. It's not like, it feels like it's exciting. Of course it does. You know, if you've not done this sort of thing before, it would feel very exciting. I mean, bloody hell, I'm excited and I've done it loads of times, right? So you've got this idea, which is like, it might have slipped out of there, but it was bullishly divergent. You know what we were saying about divergence and whatnot. We were talking about that there, and we'll talk about it again. What do you think about divergence? It's great, isn't it? You should definitely learn how to do it properly in my course, because I'm not describing it all perfectly here. I've got other stuff to do. So look at that. That's the wrong colour. Didn't even work. Did I get the right colour? By lucky chance, he gets it. Again, Phil. Again, he did it, Phil. Right, so yeah, sure, could come back down and test any of this stuff again. I don't really care. I mean, I'm agnostic. I do care, because I'll buy more than if it goes up, but I'll be buying it if it goes up anyway. So this is this thing, doing this stuff, which is distinctly different from how it was behaving at this peak, right? So you could definitely see that happen, and it test those levels, in which case, right, you would probably be looking at it having like, what did it do previously? Well, it touched out of that, and it had this divergence, and then it had this line at the top. You could draw it any way you want, but there's 3 touches. And that's not all that distinct, is it? And then not only that, right, but if you put it to like all together, you get this, which if that does break out again, what's that, right? I mean, you know what this is, right? I've told you before. That's called a big W. Big W, and that's another reversal formation, right? So you get a W at the bottom of a trend, and that there too, especially, that looks like it would be a harmonic, in which case, oh my goodness gracious me, you might get your wow signal, you might get a ridiculous takeoff, this thing could be exploding. It might take a while to get the entirety of that move, and we're on the 1 hour time frame, so when I say a while, I mean, you know, 5 minutes. It might take, you know, I don't mean that was a joke, but you know, it might take like a little bit of time, and that time would be well spent by me buying all of it. So that's interesting. Also, we were on this inverted head and shoulders that gives us this move. If we take it down to like 15-minute time frame, you know, you've got all these different lines on the chart, which I did, and I can't remember why. Oh yeah, these were these trends. That thing was breaking up previously, and at this one they're breaking out. You might be looking at retracements on it, and you're saying, well, that guy, that was an 886. Or it was possibly on the golden 786, yeah. This guy was the 886. So you got an 886 with that bullish divergence at the last one. And then if it did retrace, it wouldn't be all that out completely bonkers for people to be looking to get it in at around these areas with that breakout, or you know, an extension of this trend line, in which case there's very little gap from where it is to there, and so there'll be a lot of cheeky people try to like not diamond hand but be silly billies, and they'll end up missing out because of, like, all of this is toodle squeak stuff, right? This is all tiddly squeak stuff. I know you are all like, some of you are like, but I bought it at 0.54 and I'm up like, I don't know what you're up to date, like 30% or whatever, that sort of thing. You know, is that today? No, it's a 15-minute time frame. That was a while ago. Today was, what was today's sputter? Let's just find out. Oh, exciting! Just 11.93% today. But like these moves, a lot of people will be like taking it from just the other day, and around here. When was that? Friday. Yeah, that's yesterday in the markets. At which point you're up 23%. That's not bad. And since these lows, a lot of people have been buying it in here because that was obviously divergent. And they're up 30%, so they'll be all like excited, and I can understand why. I can understand. It's okay. It's okay, I understand. Also, you might be looking at this guy and be saying, well, there's any extensions, and on that it's a 1.13 unit. Bing. Yeah, so there's like reasons why people that don't know the chat about LivePerson will get left behind, right? And like I say, you kind of push your granny off a bus, even if she has got all the LivePerson and laughs at you. Because you should have known, right? She's your granny, how she's supposed to be ahead of you in terms of these like deep value tech plays in the new search. How's your granny beating you to this, right? Shit, watching Trace Spotting. Well, what a cool granny you've got. Anyway, what's the chat box saying? Is it flying? Is it hot in the chat box? Wow, exactly. Remember that move up with the big W? What movie? I didn't mind. It was a good movie. I don't remember it. Good to see you, Dead Money. Good to see you. Retracement is good. That was Lisa. Preparing some dry powder for the next couple of days to top up my position. Direct. You're also doing that stuff. You're also doing that. What did you think of the meme today? Retracement is good. Yeah. Howdy, Jamie. Caught me some free time gain, so I thought I'd pop in and say hi. Thank you very much, Dead Money. It's a great decision. Everybody else, you get some free time. This is the place to be. Then he made me FOMO into Lipson. Ooh, silly. That's silly, you big silly. Wait, lots of money, you big silly, maybe. I don't know, it's not financial advice. You should do your own thing, play your own game, what's not. It certainly, we're all acting in groups of one here. Well, groups of one. We just like talking to each other loads about the stock we like. So that's Lipson, it looks fantastic. We've got 15 minutes left in Power Hour. What else has been happening today? AMC's up 8%, so that'll piss off loads of people, which is funny. It's funny that'll piss people off. And that it does is, don't you agree? It's dead funny that would piss people off. Is dead funny. GameStop up 2.23%, still hovering around that 24.75 level, 15-second time frame. You had a little bit of divergence, and now you've got a little bit more of it. So not as exciting out here. Not as exciting. A lot of different opportunity though. Ooh, isn't this a nice exciting chart? Yes, it is, but what are all these lines? Wow, they's good. Look at all them. They's really good. Those lines. But oh my god, how does he do it? I don't know. You'd have to watch Friday's show. What would you be looking at this then? This. Well, you're not going to be too upset. That's good. It's grand. It's grand, so it is. So we can talk about that some more if you like. SPY. Well, I mean, it can't just constantly move up without even taking a breath. That would be silly. COS. The low today at 950. I can't remember what the emoji calendar said about this. You'll have to remind me. Remind me. Yeah, responsible adults. That's what you say. Speak for yourself. If you have 10k, what are you doing? Who, me? I have a big party. Getting on a TA course. Yeah, big time. Get on a TA course and having a big party. With the rest of it. I'd probably waste the rest of it. I didn't choose the Scuck's life. Yes, me neither. You're right. You can't choose what you believe in. It chooses you, unfortunately. What? You what, mate? You what, mate? Chat box. The significant high quality that we led with there. And join the Rocket Club Discord. Big time. There, that's and then waste the rest of it after that. So, chips, right? They're not as cheap as LivePerson, which is criminal, innit? Why is that? And what is that noise? Well, we're excited for Power Hour, aren't we? We're excited for it. It's here. It's now. This is it. Price button. It's the hour. It's the Power Hour. What's Chewy doing? It's going sideways. That's exciting. GameStop. It's still going sideways, though it could push up. That would be good. We saw some interesting moves in crypto, didn't we, folks? Look at that. It came back up and tested 58 and change. Go to a 15-minute time frame. Show you that's quite interesting there. Everyone would have been afraid. Very, very afraid. And then not even that, but also Ethereum got back above $3,000 for a bit. That's not bad. That's not bad at all. It's currently just about to do it again. Today is the 8th of June, which is the day all the Ethereum ETF paperwork had to be submitted. And, I think it's like 3 days from now is what it works out as, that you're able to slap a ask on them. It'll be like 3 days for the Ethereum ETF. And if it's anything like the Bitcoin inflows, it doesn't have to be, but if it is anything like it, then that's a very positive narrative to start taking hold. That's a very positive, especially when you start looking at this as a potential reversal. Boom, would be funny, very funny, right? And then there'll be people saying they need collateral to stop Lipson exploding, and that is why crypto's going up, because days long the Ethereum ETFs, so that they can defend against the trade spotting vector, which is indefensible. Like, you cannot defend anything about it. You've heard of the Kansas City Shuffle. Well, this is like that, but it's already in your bed sleeping with your wife. It's like that, but it's so much worse. It destroys all the things that you thought were safe. It's crazy. It's like a disease. Trade spotting's coming for you. It's coming. There's nothing you can do about it. There is no immunity. There is no vaccine, right? Trade spotting is the vaccine. So, you know, some people would say, "You're the disease. I'm coming for you." What else is up on the markets? Loads of stuff. Is. What's up in the chat box? Let me know, right? I'm going to dive into the chat box and get all the amazing information from you guys. Right? You won't be able to see me here when I'm diving in. Right? Go. The show is yours. Everybody who tunes in, both of those. They're going to be looking at you now for the answers. What's the answers? Let's go. Over to you guys. The show is yours for the next 2 seconds. Well done, everybody. You did a great job. I'm really proud of you. Really proud of how good a job you have done so far. Especially Death of Banana Free. She really stole the show. She really stole the show. Neg is definitely a buy at the minute. Dead money, you're right. We've been talking about that on the Discord, along with Corsair. Very interesting. Very interesting. I joined the course last night. Yes! Everybody welcome Diana at the course. Boom! Very good to see you, Diana. Thanks for being here. Everybody, we're very lucky. We've got a new Diana on the course. We've got a new member on the course. She's absolutely brilliant. She's been here a while now. She's great in the chat box. She really contributes. She's good fun. And she's on the course. Boom. Congratulate Diana. L. Baker Matthews, you could buy 15 shares of Lisbon and sell it at $69, and that would pay for the course. Right now, it's only $10.50. Only cost you $10.50. Wow, what an amazing, that's a really good deal. So you could get the course for $10.50. That's an incredible deal. Here, if I start and think about that for too long, I'll put the prices up. You could buy 15 shares of LivePerson and right now and sell it for $69, and it would only cost you $10.50, and it would pay for the entire course. Oh my god. So it only cost you 15 LivePersons. That's it. The profit from here to later, £69. Oh my god. You'll need to get a couple more, right? Remember I told you I want an Aperta? Yeah, I left Orbital in charge. Right, so I left Orbital in charge, he's still in charge. But I said, right, I want an Aperta, you remember that, right? That's what, another 20 LivePersons or something. It's not very many, is it? Let's be honest. It's definitely not very many. Just get some extra for that. Guys, you could also get some, like, don't forget the milk and all the rest of it, remember? Don't forget the milk and stuff. You get some for the milk. But don't forget TraceBot and his thingy, his car there, the Ferrari one. Macron and Corsair should be interested in soon as flash memory. RAM and SSDs, price is going up by 20%. Oh my goodness. Inflation, eh? I remember you needed to buy new RAM every time a new bloody game came out. Like, yeah, we've got this brilliant. It turns out you need a new slot of RAM. Jamie, left me in charge. Yep, Orbital. What have you been doing though? You've just been saying hello to people and being nice to people. Hey, you didn't have any dictatorishness, which is unusual. I was expected a little touch of dictatorishness. Now I'm back. Right, so no more dictators. And what are we looking at in terms of price? Well, we've got 5 minutes left. That's not bad. Lipson's up 12.32%. Get in, you legend. Get in, Lipson. This is brilliant. This is absolutely brilliant. Do all those things that we were talking about, Lipson. Do them all. That'll be great. Flitty L. AMC's up 8.51%. I mean, it's so funny that that's going to piss people off. It really is. You see, there's a really weird part of the culture in GameStop. Maybe you don't aware of this, right? If you're new, you won't be aware of it, right? But there's this website called GME Meltdown, and the people on it are often referred to as Melties. But not all that frequently. They're much more commonly known as their pseudonyms, which are like the famous GME elitists. And they're all out there arguing mostly with themselves and different versions of each other, right? Like the amount of meltdowners arguing with other meltdowners who are pretending to be GME elitists. And like, you know, some of them do it knowingly so that they can have an absurd conversation to later talk about. But the whole thing's like really weird. I don't know if it's like an American phenomenon. I don't think it is because some of them are Dutch. But like they do this and it's super weird. Don't you agree that that's like really strange behavior? You know, their whole life is hating is hating GameStop and just like continuing it, even if it got to be like the greatest, undeniably the greatest company in the world, they still be telling you. The delusion is very strong. And yet, like, the same thing is true on this side of the fence. I mean, how am I supposed to deny it? Like, a lot of GameStop investors are crazy, right? They're absolutely off their tits crazy. Let's not joke about it. You know, I may or may not be one of them. And, like, I might own shitloads of it and in future even more. So, you know, maybe it's me. Who am I to criticise? Well, the guy who thinks it's all dead weird. That's what. I still, like, you know, I've got reasons in that. I've got reasons. I don't know what their reason is. So, like, why would you have like, they don't even short the thing. They just, like, you know, I think it's Schadenfreude. Like, you know, you take glee in the fact that other people suffer because it's some affirmation of the fact that you're not suffering, right? But they're all making conscious decisions. It's not like their skill or talent of these other people taking them out of the danger there. I mean, a lot of them got burnt and they couldn't trade properly and they ended up eating the loss, and then they think that they're somehow spreading the good word by talking about talking smack about GameStop. And it's like, I don't know, man. I don't know. You know, I don't know. I've got shit to do, but that's interesting. And anyway, GameStop 2450, it's up 1.45%. Well, if it did that every day, no one would complain. We probably would complain at me because there's too many drawings on the chart, though. And they say, is that an uptrend? And I say, not really, but I did close that gap and it could have collapsed and it didn't, so that's not bad. But it's got bearish divergence recently, and then it could easily turn around. Plus, it's lost the center line in 15 minutes, so it's not desperately enthusiastic. Not desperately. Over here, we've got a different chart on GameStop, which you can also check. I think I've got other drawings. Yeah, I do. I've got all the other drawings. Oh, look at me. Oops. I don't know what that is, but it's gone now anyway. Get down here. Get down in amongst it. Power hour is nearly over. Only 2 minutes left. Wow, GameStop really tried to be interesting. And then I talked about it with a bandage on. And that's what happens. That's what happens. You've seen it here live, right? You've seen it elsewhere. It's the proof now. That's proof, isn't it? Twice. What else do you want? Proof. You want proof? Cost is a piece of crap. 10 spot 60, trading 20% down. And that's like, you know, it's just trapping people in it because they think they can get out of it by buying low and then like get out with a better entry. But they don't realise that that's not what's happening. It's awful. So GameStop, it's at that important trend line. You know, I didn't draw that on right now. So the fact that it keeps touching it means that, you know, more impressive, even more impressive. And it's really dead boring. So we're going back to Lipson, which is up 15% now. Now it's at 15%. Just like try and stop it, right? It'll run you over like a train. It's stupid. You don't try and trip up trains, right? You don't try and pinch windows. So why would you do that, right? You just get out of the way if you don't want it. Just get out of the way. Anyway, this is great. 15%, and it's up at 0.7298. A lot of people will be in the money there. You know, shitloads of people. Shitloads of people. When I exercise my contracts, I'll be using that money to buy shares and more contracts. You know, with a further out expiry. I'll be doing that on the regular, And yeah, and then I know why, and it's a great idea, and it's perfect, and it's going to keep happening, and nothing's going to stop me. Right? So people will say, "Oh my God, why did you do that?" At some points and certain things like that, and like, just know, I've said I've already going to do it, and I'm going to do it. So shut up, everybody. Right? So this thing pushing up higher, that's already at an interesting level. I suppose I should draw something. Here, go on, do the drawing, Spotter. Do it. Do the drawing. It's beyond the golden pocket. Jeez. Shocking. If it just finds support here, that's not a resistance level. It'll just go, well, it was there previously a little bit. Break above that, you'll just be going straight for your go for the high of the day, up at 0.75. Holy crap, that would be good. A nice wee ending like that. It's already over, Spotter. Calm your pants. Cool your jets. 0.7184. Only 13.16% on the day. Oh my god. Chewy is 24.81. 0.68% on the day. GameStop 24.50. Are we to trust these closing prices? Is it worth reviewing them? We can come back to them in a few minutes and see if they've changed. Oh, Tesla's still changing. Aye, cool. How are you supposed to give people accurate post-market prices if you haven't given them the accurate closing price? It does. I don't know. They should at least delay post-market trading, because then, you know, because otherwise it's just too much ambiguity to be screwing people over. It's not right. You just put a delay on that by a few minutes, right? It's easy. Unless the settlement banks can pull their finger out of the bum-bums. So cost was actually worse there. It was down 21.5%. It was even worse. Oh my god, what a nightmare. Chewy, let's just say that is the price. GameStop 24.50. Okay, we'll settle on that. We're settling with it. Can't you lose money if you hodl? That's like a song. I figured meltdowners, if not just trolling for fun, are probably damaged people who lost a lot of money on GameStop. Yes, some of them are actually, you know, in terms of people, are alright people in that, I'm sure. Like, from what I can gather. You know, as people are alright, but like fascination over that sort of thing is a bit strange. It's not even them, like the people who genuinely don't like GameStop and want a community about it, it's great for them, and that's what it is, and that's fine. And like, everybody's entitled to their opinion, just like everyone has an arsehole. And like, I would also like GameStop, so like, you know, whatever, but I wouldn't be pitting myself against them. I'd just be saying the people who do that and moonlight as delusional GameStop investors in order to create content that they can share with other people on a really, like, it just seems dead weird, but like, sure, you don't like GameStop, that's fine. Like, loads of people don't, I'm sure loads of people don't, and they've got their reasons, and that's all grand, right? But I don't think I need to include them in my DD, because I don't trade based on what people don't like that. Though it is interesting that they exist, and people would say that that's a strange cultural phenomena and part of the fact that GameStop's unique in that way, and isn't it crazy? And isn't that, you know, the takeaway that it's a unique stock and it's going to have even more longevity, and so their own efforts, as unique as they are, add to the phenomena. I mean, a lot of people would tell you that that's the truth. A lot of people probably would. I don't know why people think cost has anything to support these higher prices for any long-term trend. Well, they're selling some new thing in GameStop, but isn't it just like I mean, why? What is it anyway? It's got headphones attached to it, and is that the good part? Is that the USP, that their headphones are better? But like, the music that comes out of it's games, right? Isn't it? It's game stuff. So high fidelity, do you need it for the games? It'll be like mobile games too. The thing's tiny, like a Steam Deck or whatever. Is that what it's like? Is it like a Steam Deck? Maybe it does what I do. What do I know? Yeah, maybe. I don't know what we're talking about. Lipson closed above the Kumo cloud on the 4 hour. J. Oh my god, those are very rare clouds. There are very rare clouds to see them up in the stratosphere, and GameStop even higher still. That's incredible. It's nothing that would justify saying up at 5x where it was trading a few months ago. Nah, I mean, I'm not going to disagree with you. I think it's crap. What gap up? There's 2 gaps up. You're talking about Lipson. There's 2 gaps up. Two big ones. One that closes at 233. And another one that closes at 955 or something, thereabouts. Something like that. The man, 2450. Oh, you're talking about GameStop right there. I don't even care what you're talking about, the man. You use Active Trader Pro. What the hell is that? Nah. I don't know why people think that. I read that. Okay, chat box, come on, we need to get it out. I'll end up recycling stuff by accident. By accident. The market's closed. How many people tuned in today's show? 168 at the minute. Jeepers creepers. Thanks so much. 139 likes. Well, I'm sure we could get a couple more likes in there, don't you think? I'm sure we could, folks. Nobody remembers. Nobody loves me that much. Nobody loves me, apart from Meeks D and Justin. Hey. What time frame do you want to think that's more relevant for GameStop here? I mean, you've got this one on the early where you've got this resistance, price action potentially, and a diamond there. Could draw that on, but there's a lot of drawings already. Can we do it here? Yeah, we'll just do it here. Guys, we'll just draw the diamond here. Don't tell anyone. Oh shit. We have to do another one, don't we? This is what it's like out here, you guys. You guys. I can write, I swear I can write, honestly. Delete. No, 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 no. Keep them on. Calm down. Yeah, nah, just delete all that. I'm just deleting it because I've got it else. 209 drawings. Oh my god, the amount of work I do for you guys. It's unreal. So some people might look at that as a diamond. Something like that. You know, there's different ways of drawing it and whatnot. And I don't particularly like drawing all of it, but like, we'll go with this. We'll go with that. That looks good. And then we'll just, I mean, we could go further, but we're not going to because, like I said, can't be bothered. And then we come in, whoa, look at that, it's beautiful, right? And that's why people love it, because it did that, and that's beautiful, right? It's like a trader's best friend, a diamond. No, it isn't. Price typically leaves it in the same direction it comes into those formations. We would rather it was flagging and moving back up again, rather than like flagging and falling down. Two lower highs in this most recent section, and then subsequently no lower lows, would clearly mean you're going through a period of consolidation. So are we looking for a break on that thing? Probably not, really. Probably not, but it's not the most revealing formation, but it does allow us to get rid of all the other drawings. Yeah. So we'll start on the weekly time frame, talk about this resistance and that, and how whether or not this is a retest. Right, so I've said this a few times and some people don't like it, but like price typically does retest a breakout zone, and it might be doing it at the time, which is what GameStop did here. If you want to draw that in line in properly, trace buying. We'll just take it across the body high, see? Right, so it got like way more than 3 touches, and then it broke out, and then it slid down the line, having broken out of it really, and retested it. Like you went through it and you retested it here. You didn't retest the breakout zone. You went one better and retested the downward sloping diagonal. This was the breakout at 15, and it came back and tested 10. So that was interesting, right? That was super interesting. Super interesting. So is that the breakout? And yes, and does it need a retest of that? Not necessarily, because that kind of is one, but it could well have one. Could well have one. There's also gaps below where price is at the minute, so that's bearish. But that's the downward sloping diagonal the price went out of. And since then it's been consolidating, right? Because it hasn't put in any higher highs. This is on the weekly time frame, of course it did, but it didn't break the wick high. And it hasn't put in any lower lows, right? Now you might be looking at this and thinking, that wick low, these are bodies closer to it and lower than the previous bodies, but in terms of the extremities within the trend, and we're on the weekly time frame, so we're trying to be like at least a little bit helpful rather than too strict. Then you would say that it's clearly going in a period of consolidation, right? It's going sideways stuff. Not got any higher highs, not got any lower highs, not got any lower lows, pardon me, so nothing extreme that would add to a trend. If you were to put in anything high, now you would say it looks bullish. If you were to put in anything coming back down low, you'd say it's probably going for a retest of this zone, you know, on the weekly time frame. If you break up, right, which would be breaking back above 29, we could just draw it this direction, because that's the way price moves anyway. You would think it's probably going to go on up and be quite bullish. Either test the prior high. First off, you've got this wick guy closing at 33, then the body close at 40, and then the wick high 47. Pardon me, jeepers creepers, Mr. Tenants. Anyway, at that point you think it's bullish. And then if it did break down, then you've got this guy in at around 1888. That's where you would find support on the first pass. At which point you'd say, well, it's probably coming back to test either these levels in at around 15 or this level in at around 10, right? Which was the breakout point and the retest. If you catch my drift there from the start of this section. Bing, bing. You know, I could also draw that as actually just do it, but I just do it because everyone appreciates it when you're serious and professional. That's what this is. It's a very serious professional show. So this is the breakout point, which I'm going to make yellow because hey, do me some ketchup on my sandwich. Right, on my cheese sandwich. So that's not the same size. I do like it when they're the same size. That'll do. It's like a penny farthing. So price action, right? This is a penny. It does look like, hey, I'm cutting a grass. That's what it is. It's a crazy psychopath cutting your grass. What was that I said about professional? I need an ice cream. Go down to the beach, get yourself an ice cream. Go for a wee walk there on the boardwalk, right? It's America. You've got boardwalks and stuff. So, you know, you can't go yet, though the trace button show's on, and it's brilliant. It's really brilliant. We love it, so we do. This is Trace Spotting Show, and everybody here loves it. We've seen amazing moves in LPSN. We're seeing amazing moves in GameStop. Maybe if it breaks back above 29 bucks, it'll test 33. That's the wick high of this prior formation. We'll go in and test that body high in at around 40 bucks. You break that, and then you've got these obvious two extremities in price action to aim for. But it wouldn't really matter because price would be breaking up, and it would be in a very clearly trying for an uptrend. And we'd measure that and get excited about it all at the same time. If it breaks down, then it can go slightly lower and that not be critically bad for the thing, right? Beep, beep, beep. We can go in, test 22 again, easily, not a big deal. Come back down and test these levels at 20, still not a big deal. We'd close a gap in at around 1888, slightly lower. You don't really want it any lower than that because then it might be breaking back and testing for a retest of the breakout zone. The breakout zone could be place where it initially went through that 3-year diagonal in at around 15 bucks, or it could be the area where price finally moved away from that zone when it took off from it in at around 10. And that might be what you're looking to if it breaks below 18, 16 and change, 12 and change after 15 and then 10. Might be with a little bit of a bounce in and around those levels. If it breaks up, then you've got the wick high in at around 33. Get back above 30, then everybody's eyes will be looking at 40. And this prior body close on a weekly time frame where this is a higher high on the body close than it was on the previous one, which had such a strong wick. But then event-driven news doesn't necessarily speak to the long-term trend, and there was an awful lot of event-driven news back then. So if this body close is followed by a subsequent one higher, then you would be looking at this as a really strong target up back above 65 bucks, and that was all during market hours, so we all know that it went to 80. So it could be that GameStop goes for really explosive moves. The areas it needs to break are back above 30, not because that's the final destination or because it's technically important, it's 33, but I would imagine that you would burn 33 when you got to it, having seen how strong it was on its move to 30, and you know, price drives price. I think a move in that direction would get people really excited and bring a lot of virility to GameStop. And then if it moves down, that's the important target. Is it going to break there? Maybe, but you know, we'll see when it gets to it and we'll measure it at the time. It does look though, like if GameStop does want to move down, it could very well do a retest. That wouldn't be the end of the story, and it is, price action comes there, it could still be putting in a higher low anywhere above 10, which speaks to a potential uptrend. And having put in one huge rejection wick and a higher high, then maybe you don't need a higher low immediately here where price currently finds itself, but you could find it lower and it would still be bullish. I would imagine most people who invest in GameStop would think so. Should it then start moving up again, they'd get very excited because you'd be able to draw lines underneath price that were pointing to the top side and start to look valid. But everything today, everything that's been exciting about the markets today has really been because of lit markets, is because of this amazing stock LivePerson, which everybody here in the chat box is absolutely enamored with because the thing's absolutely brilliant. It's a tech stock. It's massively undervalued at the minute based on what I determine would be its true value. Its enterprise value is 10 times its market cap. The thing's exploding at the minute, up 12.86% today. The high was at 0.747 and got that first target on the day of the emoji calendar. So congratulations everybody following that along. This is ultimately what's going to happen with regards to moves on the thing. You've got a reversal formation here. That's a Gartley. When price starts pushing up again, you'll start targeting the 16180 of this thing. There's a 236 from the all-time high to the all-time low, testing in around 120, 130, those sort of levels. That'll break, go 148. That's the bottom side of this move. Go up, fill that gap, close it in at around 2.23. That's a huge percentage move from here. And then that's only the first part of the story, because the next leg takes it up to this downward sloping diagonal and closing other gaps. Look at the size of this guy. Massive. This bad boy is going to be exciting when price is back above it. Closing that and on the move to the top side, people will be very excited. And that closes in at around $9. $9? I thought it was slightly higher. Well, price will probably go to 950 because there's this downward sloping diagonal that would put it in at around those areas, which I could draw on. But really what's important, right, is this 236 here. Oh my goodness gracious me. And coming in and testing there at $17. Jeepers creepers. So that's exciting. You know, that's exciting. Loads of huge reasons that this thing could move up to the top side. If you had a debit spread, you'll be laughing about that return on that potential trade setup. Though nothing here we talk about is financial advice. It is true to say that there's absolutely stonking targets on this thing. And up at around 2.86850, 2.8850, pardon me, Rocky Outcrop Flash, get that for yourself, that indicator, and the Rocky Outcrop Toolkit, which drops all of the TA I did today on the chart for you, so you don't need to draw it yourself. Get that at Rocky Outcrop's Patreon, and access to the paid side of the Discord, where there'll be another group of amazing traders who are really invested in their future and socially learning. They're going to take you along with them. And you'll be able to partner up with amazing people. Plus you'll get the real top quality DD on LPSN and all the other work that those guys do ahead of their trading. Some really good guys and girls over there. And also there's an amazing book club, which is free for everybody that's part of the Discord. So think about joining it. If you haven't done yet, you're missing out on a trick. Lots of positive moves on the stock market today, not least in LPSN, pushing up to those levels. We talked about it on that higher time frame, and the live stream's got a really good take on things. But if everything goes to plan, and I say plan, that is simply that I'll buy lots of the thing. Then you've got this reversal Gartley, which will also turn into a potential massive W. That's an S, not a W, but we like them too. This massive W, which would be another reversal formation. So along with the head and shoulders, which we also talked about recently, it's on the stream, you can check it out. You've got the Gartley, and then you've potentially got this W. If prices do start breaking back above $1, then it could get really exciting, right? I would imagine at 148, that would be like just an outpost on the elevator to the moon. That's the gap closing. That's the long-term trend line. All of that going up to where you've already got Rocky Outcrop Flash. And if you've watched this show before for any amount of time whatsoever, then you'll know that that's the indicator my brother made. It's proprietary. It's not based on any other indicator or combinations thereof, and it's got recent updates. It's one of the best things I've ever found in trading, and it's available to everybody in our community who's on there contributing to what's going on. So check it out, that and the access you get to the Discord make it, you know, obviously good work, good investment in your life as a trader, which I expect is your life, unless you plan on going back to the cheese sandwich factory. I don't know how you're going to stomach that when you watch all the things we've called, including this disaster here. Finding resistance at that line that TradeSpot and drew, that's a surprise. And GameStop, if you were to look at it on charts where we've already drawn things out, you would see an awful lot of interesting moves with regards to price at lines that we took note of. All of these areas to support, and then it bouncing between the support and resistance that we outlined previously. There's a lot more on the live show about this. Definitely check it out. That was your clip about GameStop and LivePerson, which is absolutely flying. And if it continues to do so, I promise I'll make it even more fun for everybody. That's not financial advice. It's just will happen. Boom. Links from Lisa in the chat box as well. Is the emoji calendar on Patreon? No. It's secretly hidden, but I will bring it closer to your attention tonight or tomorrow, I guess. With all the fun we've been having. Thanks for all the fun you've made. You're welcome, Diana. We're all making the fun together. It's great fun. It's great, great fun. There's Lisa. She's doing more work than me. That's the truth. Thank Lisa. She's doing all the hard work. Yes, death of a banana fridge. It's not financial advice. I don't even know what financial advice is, so I can't claim it to be that. Talk good about me. Talk bad about me, but please just don't talking about me. Don't stop talking about me. Don't stop talking about the GME. You can talk about LivePerson. That should feature in lots of conversations. Things keeps going up stonking moves when it does. It's pretty obvious that like there's a lot of attention there. Building my LPSN position. Also still cover calls on it. Lol. Win-win. Win-win. Winnie win-win-win until all your shares get taken away by Mr. Evil Spotter on a huge violent move to the top side because the narrative has changed. Once the narrative changed, once the story's flipped, it won't come back. It won't come back. It might do in 10 years or something, but it won't come back once it changes on LPSN. It's not like that. It's not like a stock that's a little bit undervalued and might go up a wee bit. It's completely and utterly battered. And the narrative around it couldn't be more wrong. And it's got an excellent transition team. You're gonna love those LPSNs. Ooh. If you are trading options, definitely make sure you're on on Discord, right? You get really good advice from really great experienced option traders, not least of which Wiki Wilkes, who spotted all the moves in GameStop ahead of the moves. All the moves ahead of the news. Did you see all the stuff in that meme? It's linked at the top of this chat box. I put like lots more nights into that than I want to admit. A lot more nights into that than I want to admit. It's got a lot of stuff in there, right? Loads and loads of clues. Loads and loads of clues. And it's not just Jennifer Connolly, though she is LivePerson. And also, can you miss somewhere you've never been, a place you've never been? Can you? Can you do that? I think you can. Is there a word for it? Is it LPSN? What's the word for missing something that you've never seen, or missing a place you've never been, or a time you never experienced? What's the word for that? Like synesthesia or something? No, what's the real word for it though? What is it? Lots to unpack there, lots to find, and then unpack. I'm really excited to get into it this evening, get right into it, get stuck into it, get right stuck into it, so I am, on my app. Thanks for all the fish. You're welcome, sir. You're welcome. I got a fill at 20 cents this morning for January 25 $1 calls, right before it moved up. Bing bong. Yeah. Awesome. That's cool. I got fucking shitloads of those at 20 cents as well, Mr. Luke Spears, sir. Yo, woo. You and me both. Not this morning though. I got other things this morning, mostly shares. But I did get those. I don't know what I'm talking about. Who knows? Maybe I'm just like, shut up, Jamie. I'm really excited. I'm really excited too. Now make sure you watch that meme. It's gosh damn fantastic. It's linked at the top of the chat box. It's really exciting. You know, you'll have a great time watching it, and there's loads of answers in it that you probably didn't notice yet. I imagine you didn't. There's also stuff about GameStop in it that's like, you know, if you like your emoji calendars, right, keep an eye out. Fernweh what? Fernweh opportunity. We got Linda White Banks donated 3 days ago. That was very generous. But I don't know if I noticed it at the time, so I'm calling it out now. XD at the start of the show with $25. Thank you very much, Eeks. Justin Pickerel, $4.99. Thank you. I know everybody else is being stingy because I said Biden's good, and you're all like, no, not Biden, the other guy, the other one, the one with the Scottish heritage. And I'm like, no, well, you know, that the Biden guy is like, you know, is better. His infrastructure act's amazing, and his work, the industrial base is like literally unheard of. Check it out. You can even Google this shit, and it'll tell you the truth too. You don't have to rely on me to tell you. I have shares and 50-cent calls to Spotter. Probably not as many as you or at low cost basis, but in agreeing and looking to add more over time. Look, I mean, they aren't all cheap, innit? Like, as soon as we started talking about it there on the Discord, people ran off and bought shitloads of the thing. And the option chain was off the hook. Like, pretty much immediately, the option chain was going up. Stinky prices. And then that became the new norm pretty quickly. So, you know, that's the way it is. That's the way it's been. That's the way it's been, Luke. We're all in the same boat, more or less. Like, all of us in the same sort of boat, I think. You know, big groups of one. Big groups of one all over the world. Millions of us soon. The rest of the world's going to catch on to LPSN, not because I'm talking about it, because it'll start moving loads. And when it does, it'll attract loads of attention. And the move will be sustained. And then people will be like, hey, this is a good shout. And then a couple of weeks later, they'll turn around to their friends and say, did you get any? And they'll say no. And they'll be jealous. And they'll buy loads. And they'll need a bigger position because they entered later. You know, the same sort of shit happens with Bitcoin. Like, people be like, shit, Dave got some and he got it at half the price I'm paying, so I'm going to have to put in twice as much money because I don't want Dave to be rich and me not to be rich because Dave's a bastard. I hate Dave, that's what they'll be thinking. At least they would hate how much Dave would laugh at them if they didn't get as much money as him. So they're going to end up putting in twice, and you know, whatever, the thing's a bargain at $2 probably. I'm not saying that, I don't know, it's not financial advice. That's for sure. Haha. Allegedly, it's not financial advice. Frozen tears. I averaged up in shares. Lol. Nice. I like some shares myself. Have some of them. A lot of them. Lots and lots of them. I was wondering, what's the chat and that, but I looked into it and everything we're doing is legit. It's all good. Plus, there is this idea of like wanting to be, smart about it, so not getting like your hands tied behind your backs and that. So don't buy more than 10% of the company. Do if you want, go for it. But if you did buy more than 10% of the company, you'll be subject to certain restrictions and whatnot. So, everybody should just play their own game, and I should stop telling you what to do. But like, there's things to be considerate. There's things to consider, especially when there's like, some of us could just buy the whole company. Innit? I'm trash at everything else. My only option being 80 IQ is to buy shares and hold. Shut up, Frozen Fears, you big fanny. You're not at 80 IQ, you big fanny. Though that's funny. If you're a hoarder personality, you should probably only trade options. If you've got a hoarder personality, that's a strange risk management, Diana Stevens. That's like to protect all your hoarded shit, as opposed to, no, I wouldn't, right? You'd never end up with anything. You'd lose everything. Yeah, good way of clearing out your house, that, isn't it? It's just to go mad gambling and bet, like, I bet you everything in my living room. And then they turn up and they're like, oh my god, what a nightmare, I wish I'd lost a bet. That's a good way of doing stuff. Great, full mode more, average cost basis just short of 69 cents. Congratulations. You're gonna love that. It would take a couple million USD to buy 10% though. It would, right? But if, say, for example, you bought, 50 option contracts a week and 1,000 shares a week, it would only actually take you about 10 weeks if you started exercising them all. It would only take you about 10 weeks to get that 10%, in which case you'd have to be careful. You'd have to be careful. A couple of hundred option contracts a week, for example, wouldn't be that expensive. And if the price was rising up fast and you were exercising half of those, selling half, exercising half, so you got 100 contracts and 1,000 shares, and then every week you were buying 2,000 shares, you could have lots. Let's say you bought 1,000 contracts, then that's actually would take you 10 weeks with that exercising half to get the 10%, but in and about there, right? I mean, someone else can do the maths, but like, if you were actually really, laddering up, right, and pyramiding in, whatever terminology you want, doing a roaring kitty, right, whatever. If you were doing that, it wouldn't take you very long. And that's only if price just slightly gets into the money. I mean, if it goes bonkers, you'll be laughing your face off, right? You would be. Afterwards we can all talk about how funny that was that time, that thing we did that time. Remember? I was laughing when news came out about insider selling JPS and added the day after and it started ripping. Laughy laugh and then rippy rip. Those are the best days. Buying shares and holding is a fine strategy. It's a mighty fine strategy. It's probably the best one for LPSN. Managing your risk in terms of your capital exposure so you don't put too much in. Being sensible when it comes to these things, because it's life or death for your account trading, especially if you start wasting money on direction trades for options when they're really meant for insurance over your position. The only reason that I'd have been looking at it was because of a debit spread. And you saw like one of the charts came up there, and we did the TA once previously about how you would really be buying those options because they give you the right to buy, not the obligation, but the right to buy. And that's exactly what you'd be using them for. Their intended purpose, to have the right to buy them, the shares, at prices when they were much higher for a price that they would hopefully be much less than. And so it's not any way manipulative, it's trying to guarantee yourself the ability to buy them later when you've got more cash flow, right? The fact that you might get that by exercising half of them is not illegal or immoral, it's just, partly due to the risk you take and as a trader, but you'd be better off with a debit spread, and then the ones that you're buying already in the money, 50-cent strikes, expiries out as far as possible, a lot of people will be doing that too, which also makes sense. But like, you want to be looking at shares, that's the first thing. Price won't go anywhere unless we're buying shares. I'm buying shares. I mean, I say we, but like, you do what you want, play your own game. But price won't go anywhere unless we start doing that. I say we, like, which has already happened. Very lots of mutual mass than you may imagine. What a gift to be part of this community, isn't it right, Ismail? It's a real gift. It's a real gift. Along with that meme, which is at the top of the chat box. I'm a beginner, so stuck in shares land. Yeah, that's a good place to be. I never really tell anyone to buy options ever, and I'm certainly not going to start now. Don't fucking buy options, right? The only people who should do that are really experienced and know what they're doing. If this thing's trading at 69 cents, 70 cents, and it's going to 69 bucks, L. Baker Matthew said it to you. You only need 10 of them to buy the course, right? 100 of them is like, it's thousands and thousands and thousands, like hundreds of thousands, it's $100,000. Right, so why would you need to be buying options and end up losing your money? And if you don't have much money, or you're new to trading and you won't have money from trading, why would you plump it all into really crazy asymmetric risk opportunity that will cost you shitloads if you don't do it properly? When you could just put the money in shares and watch price probably go up anyway, might take slightly longer, and then take all the option traders out of the game who didn't plan for that or don't know how to manage that. And you'd be sitting there making loads and loads of money, and it probably won't take 3 years like GameStop, anything even remotely like it. So you'll just be laughing, right? And why would you ever look at it in any other way? Probably because of greed. And greed and fear are the two things that will cost you as a trader, other than just fucking around not knowing what you're doing. So, if that you can avoid all of those by realizing that vast majority of people will just be fucking around not knowing what they're doing and just buy shares. So that would be like the other non-financial advice, innit? And then afterwards you can be super happy about how much money you made buying shares. That would be good. Instead of being upset about not having got stuff because you wasted your money on contracts and stuff for like crazy risk that wasn't worth it. And how many, the whole idea is that people think, well, I can make billions or hundreds or thousands or millions from options, but you can nearly make hundreds of thousands from not many shares if it goes to crazy targets. You can manage that trade up there far easier with shares. And, the fact that that opportunity is available to you means you don't need to take the crazy option trades, and they're all mostly imagined anyway. People look at other people's option contracts or option accounts that are doing well, and I can tell you from this position, which has seen many of them, people who do the best take profits early and frequently with option trades. They don't sit on them trying to make 85 million bucks on a trade. That's not what happens, right? What they do is they make thousands of trades, all at a few percent, and then they make thousands and thousands of percent, which is a lot of money, and it means you can get from not very much to lots of money. And the only reason they're able to do that is because they learned how it works with a strong consistency trading shares. And if you haven't done any of that yet, then you really got to take the course, join the Discord, and start learning, right? And don't underestimate the things you're learning, because if you put the strategies into practice, right, they'll change your life. They'll absolutely change your life. And take that course is financial advice. It is for everybody, and you'll be able to pay for it easy peasy with the shares alone. I wish that was longer dated Lisbon strikes, didn't it? We were thanking our lucky stars when they released the January expiries. Right, it was like a race. It was like that race, when they throw the cheese down the hill and everyone ran. That was what it was like when they released January options. And it'll be like that in February too. And then if price is rising, people will be rolling them like 2 months out, 3 months out. They'll just roll them again. Especially if it starts like not just us, anyone would. So, it is what it is, which is a cool ass. No 50-cent strike for January though. Interestingly, yeah, it's interesting. They're just like straight up doubling it to $1. Like, that's what we're going with, guys. We've noticed. We've noticed. Something fishy going on here, sir. Sir, there's something fishy going on in the markets again. Hey, fuck those guys. I'm going to buy all of it. Hey, so used. Alright, cool, great. Watch that meme. It's absolutely brilliant. I'm going to go watch it again myself because, I want to see if everything was right. And laugh about how it is when I see it. And think, no one's going to see that. No.